Hey Michelle, Rue has a colon cleanse at 3 today. Can you go break someone's soul before lunch break? Oh hey Fenton, yeah. Should I reschedule my colon cleanse then? Well, Hi, hello everyone, my name is Jer, and I just got a DNA test and it turns out I'm gay. Alright sluts, let's get into it. But first, please make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and if you need further incentive, here, please. We are discussing Drag Race Season 18, Episode 6, The Talent Show Part 2. It's not called that, it's called Rated Queen Part 2, but who cares? Some big story beats that are happening this week mostly involve strategy, and I noticed quite a bit of hypocrisy coming from our local older millennial. As a fellow millennial and someone who is extremely petty, it is so bizarre seeing someone that is close to my age who acts like a boomer. I see the comments that y'all are saying about Athena across the internet. Just know that she doesn't represent my era. A lot of us don't care that much. I found it fascinating that she was getting peeved with week 1 girls strategizing and trying to decide who they wanted to have lip sync against Sierra, when she basically spent all of last week strategizing to make sure that Juicy would move forward to the next episode. And even if Juicy completely deserved it, Athena was absolutely on a campaign trail to make sure that it happened hell or high water. So it's fairly hypocritical to me to suddenly get upset that people are doing the exact same thing that she did. I think she's just mad that they are also playing the exact same cards. Last week I made an assertion that I thought that Jane was going to be out. And from the edit, it certainly seemed like that was going to be the case. She's been talking about sharks in the water for far too long. But something that suddenly clicked and occurred to me is I understand what they're doing with her edit now. They're painting her as an unreliable narrator. They did something very similar in All Stars 8 with Alexis Michelle as well as with Candy Muse. The two of them continued to have these confessionals that the girls were out to get them, that they were trying to snipe out the strongest competitor, that they were gunning for them, and Candy keeps having these rogue confessionals that I hope the girls don't continue to think about the situation with me and Heidi and hold that against me, when we never see any of that come to fruition. I think all of this is in an effort to make Jimbo look like a more reliable narrator, someone who's more stable in the competition. I've only noticed this edit a few times in Drag Race. They'll paint a specific girl as being paranoid and feeling like everyone is out to get them, but then that is never manifested into anything. We see this happen in Drag Race Season 8 with Thorgy, and we see a lot of her insecurity be manifested as paranoia. She's suddenly no longer a reliable character in the competition. It's someone that we're supposed to maybe be a little concerned about. I think what the editors did not anticipate is that people would not click with Athena in the same way that they are, and so her victory at the end of this episode doesn't have any type of satisfying payoff because the audience is not at large connecting with her. However, people are also not connecting with Jane. Sierra is trying to convince the week 1 girls to put Discord in the bottom. She thinks that's the most likely person that she could beat in a lip sync. Girl, I would have advocated to put Jane down there. I don't think it would have resulted positively for Sierra, but it very clearly did not work out in her favor to suggest Discord either, because we saw that both Juicy as well as Vita immediately went to her to let her know what was going on. Which I understand wanting to have a clear conscience, but at the same time, little snake rattle behavior. In my opinion, I think it's always best to speak up if you're uncomfortable about something, rather than try and play 2 different games. Be compliant with someone in the moment and make them think that you're on their side, only to sort of undermine them later. It's not quite a backstab or a betrayal, because they didn't make any promises, but they certainly seemed compliant with her wishes in the moment, sort of nodding their head and mm-hmm-ing. They should have just in the moment said, I'm not comfortable with that. We'll have to see how it all shakes out. Michelle comes into the workroom to check in on the queens, which I think was an interesting way of padding out the episode and subbing out time that would have normally come from tertiary critiques from RuPaul. She gives the week 1 girls some praise for the things they did, as well as encourages them moving forward, and then chats with the week 2 girls to basically rip Kenya a new and make sure that she knows that they were displeased with her lip sync, and make sure that she knows to actually learn her words this time. This would have thrown me off my game tremendously. Anytime I get any type of performance feedback before something major, I am massively in my head and worried that whatever comes next is not going to be good enough, and I will always be compared to that bad feedback. And so while I understand Michelle doing this because it needed to be said, if I were Kenya, I would have been pressed. Like, I probably would have cried. What I think is so brilliant about Michelle is that she balances out the personable reality show host with the producer role kind of perfectly. Honestly, I would love for Rue to just retire and for Michelle to take over, because from what I heard, Drag Race Down Under season 4 was the best the show has ever been because Michelle took over. And I think Drag Race would massively benefit from Michelle being there solo. Maybe Rue coming in every once in a while as a guest judge. Let the lady retire. I think Michelle is way better in this role and very clearly cares about these queens beyond just them being number 277th in the workroom. The runway category this week is called Shake, Shake, Shake. It's meant to be a movement runway. I love some movement on the runway, so let's get into these. But because it's abridged and it has almost nothing to do with the actual grading of the challenge, we'll move through these quick. Mikey is out first in this 90s fuzzy ball fantasy. I don't know if y'all played with those when you were kids, but I loved those. It has fantastic movement. It's an absolute slay. Athena is next in this sort of psychedelic eye 60s mod silhouette. It's an odd slay for her. I love the color. I love the shape. I think she did a great job creating movement in something that doesn't seem like it would. And I like the humor of the look while also taking itself very seriously. Kenya Pleaser is next in Butterflies, and my brain rot is telling me that Art Simone did something like this. I think this is good too, but my automatic recall is going to compare a look to another look. I kind of wanted this to be better than that last one. It's still really pretty. I love the colors. It is a slay. I think we're just at this bloat of Drag Race where there's too much. Jane Don't is next in Chartreuse. I have to tell y'all that my autocorrect on my Word document made it Jane Dunn. And I don't know why. She's no longer Jane Don't, she's Jane Dunn. I don't live, laugh, love the shredding of the fabric. I don't think that equaled movement. It is a very soft slay because I don't think it's bad. It just did not make me go, ugh! Discord is next, making some commentary on CEOs in this unfitted suit. I like how it's sparkled down. It is very luxe and expensive, but it absolutely looks like something you would see a male celebrity wear to the Met. It doesn't have a lot of movement to it, but I like that there's some excitement to it, so it's a soft slay. Mia is next in this leaflet gown. She says it was made from VHS tapes, and I love that. There is definitely more train than shake, shake, shake. Like, a train doesn't equal movement to me. It had flow, and I think flow and movement are parallel lines but not the same. It's a soft slay regardless. I like the color on her. Darlene Mitchell is next, wearing literal bullshit. I love that this girl wears just whatever she wants. This is drag to me. I'm sorry, say what y'all will. We have seen so many years of drag queens coming on with the most polished concepts, the most elaborate $10,000 costumes, several many credit cards maxed out in order to get to the show, to wear these extravagant pieces, and then Darlene is coming out looking like a piñata. I love it. This is so good. This is just drag, and I have not loved a queen like this in a long time. Like, she is giving me Spanky Jackson. The wrong aesthetic for what Drag Race has called for many years, but the right aesthetic for what drag needs to be. It's an absolute slay, and it always will be. Y'all can say whatever you want. I don't care. I can't hear you. Out of my face. Out of my face. Next is Vita Von Teese in a white leotard. Fringe, to me, doesn't always equal movement, considering that it's a shorter fringe. It's kind of boring. It's a chop for me, I'm sorry. Nini Coco is next in this avant-garde, neon, crispy shape. It almost reminded me of a pear. I love it. This is movement down. It's a super slay. I have seen this style of garment from a couple of different designers in the last year. I find it fascinating that each one of these pieces are constructed separate of each other. So they literally just ruffle almost like an amoeba, or there are these aquatic creatures that ruffle. I can't remember what they're called. Oh, this is everything. Juicy is next, referencing Bob Mackie. I like the movement of these pieces. I think it works very well. It's a difference of silhouette, and I love that Juicy is constantly giving us different viewpoints of what her drag is, and then it's not stagnant in one shape or color story. And that's kind of abnormal for girls of her caliber, the ones who are dancing queens who don't really act or do comedy. They can, but that's not their shtick. They're there to be fierce. When they go into a club, they light up the building, they get it electrified, but they're not here to do this kind of drag. I think it's exciting to see someone breaking the mold. Sierra Mist is next in this amethyst bodysuit. She did have something different that she was gonna wear, but she knew she had to lip sync and she knew that she wouldn't be able to change, so she wore this. It's saloon, it's chorus girl light, it's soft and femme, which is great for her, but it doesn't have movement. It's a soft slay based on the situation that she's in. I like her original concept better, and if she didn't have to lip sync, that would have been perfect. I think for a throwaway runway, this was pretty decent. So first up for the talent show, we have Mikey Meeks doing this Bride of Frankenstein striptease. We've seen burlesque so many times on Drag Race that it's almost boring. I like this difference of making it funny and grotesque at the same time. It was one of the most fun talent shows I've seen in a long time of the burlesque category, and I think it was super different than anything we've ever seen before. It was incredible. Next is Athena Dion looking hot in sapphire. She's doing a nod to her Greek culture, which got a lot of storyline this week, and that's how I knew she was gonna snag the win. I love when the girls pretended to be surprised when she said, "Hey, did you girls know that I'm Greek?" No way. Oh my god, really? I think my good sister Kendra Onyx said this the best. And for those of you who don't know, when I started drag, Kendra was at my very first pageant and was lovely to me, and we are very close and I love her. On the official Drag Race Instagram post under Athena's performance, she said, "I just wish queens were naturally funny and not feel forced to be funny, just so they can get Rue to say, 'That was stupid, I love it.'" I have no further comments. Next up is Kenya Pleaser. I think she was trying to be so present in the choreography and focus on that she kept losing the lip sync and kind of looked scared. It was a big nothing burger of a performance. I'm so sorry. And when Ruth Paul Margaret Iyad Charles Iman Dupree LePage has to turn her entire body and snap the cords that are holding her in place to grumble to Michelle about a performance, you know it's bad. They are over Kenya. You know that Rue said, "Didn't you talk to them today? I could swear I sent you back there to go tell that girl that she needed to do better. What happened, Michelle? I don't think you came in very clear." Next up is Jane Don't, and she does this hilarious comedy singing set that I was absolutely giggling about. I love that it was vaudevillian. It was a great adjustment to things we've seen of this kind of category. It was easily the best of the night, in my opinion. It was definitely the #1 spot, had the House of Dion not been there. And last is Discord Adams. Yep. I like wanting to parody the typical songs on Drag Race. I'm gonna snatch the crown, I'm gonna win, this is not just another Drag Race song. I think the cadence of it was great. I like that it was just this side of farcical, of doing way too much for the talent show and overdoing it, getting so far away from what drag is meant to be. I almost laughed, but something about it was taking itself so seriously that I had a hard time clicking with it. It was sort of the same problem that I had with Vita's performance last week. Was it supposed to be funny or was it supposed to be serious? If I laugh, I feel uncomfortable because I don't think I'm supposed to laugh at this. I don't think it's supposed to be fierce, so I can't yes to it. And I don't know if I'm supposed to think, "You're so right, bestie, you're so right." I don't really know where I was supposed to go, so I think because the mood was unclear, I as an audience member couldn't connect with it. It was easily the worst of the night, right next to Kenya. It was very hard for me to choose which one of them I thought was worse. Considering the runway also factoring in, I would say that Discord was just this side of worse than Kenya, because I do think that Kenya's had more movement. Ready Queen then happens, and part of me wonders if the reason why they incorporated this format so late into the game was one, because they knew that there was going to be some relationship play out and that there would be TV moments generated from having everybody know each other better and maybe being a little more malicious in their approach to voting, but also to pull back on some of the allegations that Drag Race is so overly produced by giving the queens a modicum of control at the midway point of the season, take the power out of their own hands and shift the narrative so that we as the audience think, oh, it's not completely overrun with producers. But I think at the end of the day, there was still some levels of production that went into this, specifically with the mind with bringing Michelle in to read the dog out of Kenya. They were trying to make a storyline happen since I think the one that they wanted wasn't. Jane and Athena are voted as the top 2 from Ray to Queen, and the 2 of them have to lip sync to Jerkin. Love Jerkin. And if you like Jerkin, there's a spicy page. The editors do not agree with this message. Athena complaining about not being chosen for Q-pop and needing to prove to the girls why they should have weeks after the fact was the most boomery thing that I have ever seen someone complain about. Us as millennials don't care that much. I don't understand. I don't know about y'all, but I am not fiercely enchanted by the air guitar or air instruments. I would rather not see that on Drag Race personally, and so for me, I liked how restrained Jane was in her approach to rock and roll, that it wasn't so like, and she didn't do air guitar, so. But Rue says that Athena won. Okay. I reaffirm what I said last week. I think that they are using Athena as a device to create friction, and I think that is being accomplished based on what people are saying about this girl online. And I want to make it absolutely clear, this channel has no hatred towards Athena Dion. There are only two queens in the Drag Race universe that I hate and I will always shit talk, and that is and so anytime any of y'all run in your mouth in the comments about how I'm being biased or whatever, there are only two people I don't like, and they're not on this franchise. And then Sierra Mist has to lip sync against the bottom voted queen, which was Mikey Meeks? This is insanity. Mikey was easily top 2. Easily. The levels of insanity. Far too much. So incorrect. So insane. This season is such a chop, it's not even funny. And the two of them have to lip sync to Toxic by Britney Spears. Something interesting that's happened in the Drag Race universe lore-wise, based on this timeline of events, that I just made a short about actually, is that we know that Briar Blush was eliminated on the 26th. The day before her birthday. Her birthday, the 27th, is when Jiggly Caliente passed. We know from Drag Race Philippines Slation Royale that Mama Pao had a reaction the day that it happened, and a few episodes later, when the information about Jiggly's passing became public, the girls talked about it. This episode would have been around the time that the public would have started to be told what happened, so Rue and Michelle acknowledging it right there in that moment, saying after the lip sync, oh bless her heart, this is the one that Jiggly did in season 4, was a further proof that the two of these seasons were filmed in tandem with each other. But what I find most interesting is that Slation Royale was able to edit and greenlight their season within about 4 months, where it took Drag Race thrice as long to get their season out. So it makes me wonder why Drag Race Mainline doesn't put a little more pep in its step and try to produce these seasons more rapidly, because it's been proven that can be done. Anyways, this lip sync was pretty mediocre. It was kind of on par for me as Honey and Vivian doing Oops, I Did It Again. I started playing Monopoly Go on my phone because I was so bored. I wonder if the girls were hesitant to really go for it because they didn't want to reference Jiggly too much. I think anytime a song is redone on Drag Race, there is a hesitation to not copy what they already know from their Drag Race brain rot. But girl, RuPaul of all people does not remember that lip sync. So the two of them could have gone for it. What I do think went for it was Mikey's hairstyle going on a completely different journey than when it showed up in the talent show. That was art. I appreciate that Ru brought up Jiggly, and I hope that in the next episode or two, we'll get some type of tribute at the beginning or end, just recognizing her legacy and her impact on the show. RuPaul calls Mikey a safe, meaning that Sierra is unfortunately out, confirming a lot of my early fears that Sierra was going to get the charity case edit. The kind of weirdo who Ru and Michelle were not connecting with and was suddenly just out. And it feels bad that it was at the hands of the other queens. Drag Race is not fair, but I hate this regardless. This is exactly what they wanted from Rada Queen. I think they wanted a gag. They wanted something that was a wow moment, something that makes us clutch our pearls and go online and be upset and activated, because that means that we're tuning in and continuing to click, because hate watching is just as powerful as fan watching. I think this entire elimination was unsatisfying, it was upsetting, but that's what Drag Race is sometimes. I understand that, but I don't like it. Anyways, next up are political ads. On a non-election season, I think this is the first time that this has happened. I'm gooped. I'm gonna complain right now and early before we get to next week so that hopefully I will be shut up and maybe this is not even a problem. What I don't appreciate about the Drag Race political challenges is that Ru's nationalism comes out a bit here, and it's sort of rah-rah America and not really here's why voting and using your voice and your power is important. Drag Race doesn't often emphasize anything beyond make us laugh and doesn't explain to the audience why they should care, that their very basic rights existing as queer people are being ripped out of their hands across states and federally. The show needs to be casting a light on why it's so important to vote, and not just say, go vote, because that's not going to help anyone. Maybe I will be shut down next week, and maybe the show will do a really great job at talking about why queer folks especially should care and why allies should care. I'm hoping that it will. I'm fascinated that we're getting a political challenge on a non-election year. Not mad about it though. I just want them to stress the importance. What y'all think about the episode? What'd you think about the win and the out queen? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you to all my Extravaganza Extra members who support this page. If you'd like to check that out, it is right down by the join button. You can get exclusive access to watching some of my posted videos before the others, and it also helps support me. Thank you for watching. I will see y'all on the flip.